All right, hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 between Frefe and Th000. Th000 spawning as the, well, let's go ahead and choose the right colors. There we go. It is going to be the red human player against the purple undead Frefe, as I am going to speed things up to the minute 30-second mark and see what strategies will be employed. Once more, we saw a very, very early or a late Altar of Kings, meaning that we will be seeing a tavern hero again. That Mountain King is just there to throw off any scouting whatsoever, as the Footman now runs around inside the base. Footman takes a death coil here. The Death Knight gets a little bit more mana regenerated, or he regenerates his mana faster than the Footman can regenerate his hit points. So that Footman will just kind of run off, not quite sure what to do. All right, Mountain King. Looks like it could just actually be a Mountain King, not going for the Beastmaster as what we saw earlier. And if it is a Mountain King, it will be a delayed Mountain King at that, as we are now getting to the 2-minute 30-second mark. All right, gonna go ahead and try to take down the Renegade Wizards here. The Militia now making their way over, and this opening just does not seem all that tight. The Death Knight is already in position. The Mountain King now running around here, as you can see that the Militia are clearing out this creep camp rather easily. Footmen are right there, and the skeletal minions now are, after doing a little bit of damage, will just back off with no real issue. All right, Death Knight now making his way over. Death Knight going to pick up, no, there's a Stormbolt, and now I believe that, oh, the Death Knight gets surrounded right at the very beginning. Beautifully done. And yes, the Death Knight is going to be forced to use that Scroll of Town Portal much, much earlier than he would have liked. The Death Knight, however, gets a decent number of Militia kills, as he did try and commit with that, with the Militia in order to get the surround, making it very, very easy prey. Rogue gonna fall here. Mountain King going to get to level 2. I am surprised that the Mountain King is not already at level 2. We must have, there must have been a little bit of stealing of experience from that Death Knight, as the Mountain King finally gets to level 2, picks up a Ring of Protection +2. Not altogether that useful, as the Death Knight now wandering out. All right, last rogue will get taken down. There is a Tome of Intelligence. Is it going to be left behind? No, it is not, as the Death Knight now wanders here. All right, a couple of skeletal minions going to chase down a Footman here, as the Footman now walks back. So far, in game number 1, we saw that the human player really tried to set up a very, very fast expansion. However, that did not work out for him. We'll see what's going to happen here in game number 2. And I am surprised that we didn't see an Archmage opening. Archmage is generally a stronger opening, as it does allow casters. But I guess if you are afraid of your opponent, oh, we could see a bit of a surround here. And oh, the Footman, is it going to be able to do it? No, it is not. Beautiful play by Frefe, making sure to keep one Crypt Fiend just straight up next to him, so that the Crypt Fiends and the Death Knight can all run away together. Mountain King needs a little bit more speed if he wants to get off another Stormbolt. He is not going to be getting it, as the Death Knight does have Unholy Aura, and the Death Knight gets away. Mountain King already with the Clarity Potion, now waiting for Boots of Speed, should be able to chase down that Death Knight. If that Death Knight does get caught out of position, we can see that the Footmen are now running forward, trying to take down the Nerubian Tower. And this is going to turn into a little bit of a bloodbath, as you see a quick Stormbolt onto an Acolyte. Death Knight may try to get a Death Coil off. Yes, does save that Acolyte there. And this is very important. Every Acolyte that is taken down is gold that is lost for quite some time, because of the delay of the Halls of the Dead. Halls of the Dead not quite yet completed. As you can see, Acolyte after Acolyte is falling. There goes another Acolyte. Yes, there goes another Acolyte. Mountain King down to 200 hit points. He decides to get the heck out of this fight and this place here. Pulls back home. Death Knight sitting at level 2, getting some more skeletal minions. And with only one Acolyte to his name, Frefe is going to be harvesting gold extremely, extremely slowly. All right, Halls of the Dead now done. Acolytes now being trained. You can see that the Crypt Fiends are down over here. Perhaps they will try and creep out the Sasquatch. Meanwhile, are we going to get a Tavern Hero? No, it does not look like it. We could see perhaps a Naga Sea Witch or even a Beastmaster to try and push. But both of those heroes really benefit if the primary or the first hero was the Archmage. Death Knight quickly makes his way through. Is going to be able to pull out. Does not have Boots of Speed. And ends up getting surrounded once again. Footman, there's a Death Coil. There goes the Death Knight. Mountain King sitting at level 3. There's a big Stormbolt onto this low hit point Crypt Fiend. Is it going to fall? It looks like it may. And wow, going after a second Crypt Fiend as well. That Mountain King, is he going to get the kill again? Yes, he's going to go after another full hit point Crypt Fiend. There it goes. And the Mountain King, now down to 79 hit points, may try and run back the other way as this low hit point Crypt Fiend is running for the hills. If only he knew where exactly he could go. All right, this Crypt Fiend down over here. That Crypt Fiend double backs around, and it looks like he will be able to get back. All right, that Crypt Fiend. He actually walked back towards the Mountain King for a moment. That was a huge, huge mistake. There's a bash, though. 15% chance of killing it, and he got it. Both Crypt Fiends are now down. Mountain King looking very strong at level 3. Death Knight sitting at level 2, I believe. As the Undead is sitting at 18 over 40 supply. 36 over 36 for the human, as the Archmage now being added to supplement the rest of the army. All right, that early Mountain King really paid in spades, so to speak. Getting good Stormbolts early on, being able to just really use it. And now let's take a look at this. Archmage is now out on the field. Water Elemental has been dropped, and we are going to be seeing the Water Elemental creeping at a very late stage. Very difficult for an Archmage to really gain level if it is not your primary hero. Death Knight still wandering back around, finishes off the Murloc here as the Archmage and the Footman are now ready to roll. They are now on the move, heading over here to the top right. Where are they going to be traveling to next? Archmage and Mountain King heading into the base. Are they going to perhaps be able to catch their opponent off guard? No, not going to be able to catch their... yes, going to be able to catch their opponent off guard. As you can see, the Death Knight sitting at level 3. Mountain King sitting at level 3. And a big Stormbolt goes down on the Death Knight. Goblin Zeppelin was picked up and by a skeletal minion. Wow, just hiring a skeletal minion in order to pick up a Goblin Zeppelin in order to save yourself. Beautiful micro there, as we can see that the Death Knight is now back on the ground. All right, Stormbolt in play. Let's take a look. Acolyte trying to deal a little bit of damage. You can see that the priests are now joining in on the fight. Priest actually going after the Archmage, disrupting a little bit of the regeneration over time from those clarity potions and those scrolls of regeneration, as the Archmage is in position to try and take down one of the Altar of Darknesses. Altar of Darkness down to pretty much, nope, 2/3 life, as we now transition over to a slaughterhouse instead. Obsidian statues are very, very necessary in this fight here. As you can see, 2 acolytes overhead trying to put pressure onto the priest, does so and is now being forced to back off as the... oh wow, that gargoyle survives at 8 hit points. Beautifully done, as the Death Knight now still wandering around here. All right, Mountain King trying to get away. The Mountain King could just easily turn around, Stormbolt down one of these skeletal minions to get to level 4.
A player's forces are under attack.
All right, Water Elemental now attempting to run away. Let's take a look back over here. A beautiful Stormbolt onto the Taskmaster. Taskmaster now trying to clear things up. Mountain King is still right there. And is that Gargoyle going to perhaps be able to steal some experience? No, he doesn't. The Mountain King still is sitting at level 4. And now, perhaps more importantly, the Archmage is sitting at level 2. Archmage, Mountain King now once more wandering around here. You can see a Troll Shadow Priest, Forest Trolls, all next to this Goblin Merchant. Double slaughterhouses, so we are looking to go into destroyers, but we already see the counter by the human. We are looking into rifles now as one gargoyle is right there. All right, let's see how much damage can be done here. Oh, that ensnare, very, very bad news for that gargoyle. As that gargoyle trying to get away may end up getting ensnared again. No, there are a couple of footmen. There are a couple of ensnares as the Death Knight is now nearby. Gonna go ahead and take down one footman there, perhaps even getting to even higher as we are now also going into flying machines. Flying machines extremely potent when flak cannon upgrades are used against all of those air units there. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Death Knight now running around once off to the north. Archmage is still coming across here, and the Archmage sitting at level 2, getting some healing going down, and the Mountain King sitting at level 4. This is a very, very powerful army. If it was the Archmage at 4 and the Mountain King at 2, I wouldn't be nearly as impressed. But right now, that Mountain King pretty much has everything he needs. He has healers to keep him alive. He has mana for him to be essentially a one-man assassin with those Stormbolts. The timing is just going to be, well, the timing. When exactly human is ready to engage. Undead doesn't mind if this game goes long. And I am surprised that we are really seeing Th000 allow this game to go as long as it currently is. Perhaps he believes that by building up a very, very strong hero advantage, he should be able to come and beat his opponent. But that hero advantage is starting to become mute as we can see that the Death Knight is still wandering around back over here. Let's take a look at this. You can see 2 obsidian statues are in the backfield. Death Knight is still wandering around here. The destroyers are trying to take down many of these peasants as the gargoyles are also now in a bit of a run. All right, let's take a look. There goes one gargoyle. Or not gargoyle, fly machine. Meanwhile, footmen are now ending up falling as the Archmage forced to take down his own farm in order to get inside this base. Death Knight now in a little bit of trouble, but there are some low hit point units, including one very give-me footman. Not quite sure why it is not being attacked at all. A very, very easy target there as the destroyers are just seemingly ignoring that ground army. All right, flying machines in a little bit of bad news, just going after all of these units. Let's take a look at this. Goblin Zeppelin is in the air. Obsidian statue not going to be dropped. Destroyers now falling left and right. And this is going to be a lot of ground to make up for Frefe. Frefe, who was in a commanding lead moments ago, now I believe has taken back seat as the Archmage is at level 3 and the Mountain King is at level 4. Death Knight at level 4 also falls as well, as the Lich is now out on the field for the very first time. Alright, Lich could get an easy shot off onto one unsuspecting footman. Is he going to do that? Is he going to get that kill? I don't think so. And that is actually extremely bad news. Obsidian Statue ends up getting the kill, as the Obsidian Statue now being forced to run away and ultimately destroyed in that attempt. All right, we are now looking inside the main base. Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich does not get a death coil in time, as the Death Knight not able to do very much of anything. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Let's take a look back over here. Death Knight sitting at level 4.
A player's forces are under attack.
All right. Still chasing around here. You can see that the Death Knight and the Destroyers are really making a big push back inside perhaps the castle main base. We are looking at a pretty sparse human base. I don't see a Griffin Aviary at all, so it's not going to be any Dragon Hawks, as Dragon Hawks are relatively strong against Destroyers. Destroyers, however, are able to really, really destroy a base with their ability to just devour magic and their ease of taking down towers. All right, back down over here, you can see the flying machines going toe-to-toe against one of those destroyers, and that is just way too much damage there. Massive, massive brute force coming in, and Frefe does a great job shutting down that destroyer harassment attempt.
The player's forces are under attack.
Death Knight, Lich, Dark Ranger all being added here, heading back to the top right. You see the Archmage and the Mountain King sitting at 5-3. Very, very impressive level right there. As you see a quick bash in as well. There's a Death Coil. And if that Stormbolt goes down, that should be enough to finish it off. Or very, very nearly clear it. Let's take a look. Backing it up once again. The units running all the way back once more. Archmage perhaps looking to drop another Water Elemental for this very serious counterattack. Archmage needs to get in position. There's an Abomination as well. Abomination shouldn't be too much of a problem. There isn't that much ground right now. Only the heroes, and the heroes do need a bit of protection though. Lich now trying to pull back away. Death Knight nowhere to be found so far, as we are looking at the Archmage and the Mountain King really, really just pushing here on this base. Archmage now looking to back up, perhaps regroup with himself. Meanwhile, back down over here, you can see that the Water Elementals are trying to get away, and I do believe they will. Are they going to get away? And down to 18 hit points. One more shot would have done it. And wow, a little bit of lost experience and lost opportunity there. We'll see if that comes back to haunt Frefe in just a little bit. As you can see, Dark Ranger and the Lich both needed a good amount of experience for level 2. Alright, Human Tri-Hero trying very hard with flying machines to shut down the undead. Flying machines generally very problematic just because you cannot get as many Crypt Fiends to web down those units. Alright, let's take a look. Is the Lich going to be able to get away? Oh, Lich able to get away at just the right moment. And let's take a look at what's happening next. There goes some more units as we are now mounting the counterattack here. Alright, back inside the undead base on the top right hand side of the map. Paladin able to heal up the Mountain King a little while longer. Flying machines being brought over as well. As you can see, the Water Elemental is still doing a pretty good job at this point. Let's take a look at the supply. 43 over 50, and that's with 2 Abominations already out on the field, which should be very, very impressive, as those Abominations are very easy to deal a lot of damage. Coming back down over here, Dark Ranger getting in some easy shots onto the onto the Mountain King. However, the Lich falls at level 1 again, and this is not looking good for the Undead player at all. Undead just completely falling apart here, as the flying machines are just constantly flying around overhead, trying to get some easy kills, and the Undead is just looking extremely strong at this point, as the Abomination is quickly healed for 600 hit points. Alright, flying machines now being brought over once more. Let's take a look at that. You see the carpet bombing now actually taking place. Yes, the carpet bomb upgrades by those gyrocopters is very important, as the Paladin now being brought out again as well. Archmage sitting at level 2, I believe. Where is he? Nope, not over here. Why can't I see him? Oh, there they are. Sitting at level 4. Wow, level 4 with halfway to level 5. That's actually looking very good right now, as the Lich is just trying to get something going here, only to get creepjacked again, and that is a definite problem. Alright, let's take a look. Lich sitting at level 2. Destroyers are in the air. Destroyers are slowly getting pecked away, and that peck away is just going to... I'm gonna eventually take down that unit there. So far, we're looking at this ongoing back and forth battle. Durfey, you remember, in game 1 still has the upper hand, as he has another game to give. But does he think that way? No, he doesn't. He's trying to close the door on this play. And so far, I gotta say, both of them are playing micro extremely well and able to handle themselves and think through rather tough situations. Alright, Paladin now making its way down. Archmage now making its way to the bottom left. Where are we going to be going next? Only a Paladin and a Water Elemental, or Knight and a Water Elemental, in addition to the Human Tri-Hero. they're going to try extremely hard. Meanwhile, back off to the north, you can see Obsidian Statue, Lord Drakhallow, or Darkhallow, and also Naz the Eternal. But all three of them, I think, pretty verbose in the WarCraft lore. We'll have to go ahead and see about that, as we're now looking at the Archmage looking to clear out this Rock Golem creep camp. All right, Rock Golem creep camp going to get cleared out pretty easily. Mountain King is right there. Even though it is magic immune, it can still be affected by Bash. Meanwhile, back down over here, we can see that we are harvesting maximum gold once again, but we are pretty much out. This gold mine is already gone. This gold mine will be done in about the next 30 seconds. And with the next 30 seconds gone, it is going to delay things even further. All right, let's take a look. A bit of a fight back over here. Peasants now trying to get over. Death Knight sitting at level 5. If Death Knight actually had anime dead right now, that would be amazing, as that is so many skeletons to actually use. So far, the fight is still going on strong. The Crypt Fiends and the Skeletal Minions are now making their way forward. Skeletal Minions trying to get away. You can see a Devour magic there, or an Abolish magic there. Not quite sure what happened. And now more units are just... more units are just pushing up to the other side of the bridge, only to be forced to push back once more.
A player's forces are under attack.
All right, let's take a look down over here. You can see that I believe the main dragon was taken out. I think the dragon that... What am I talking about? Destroyer, not dragon. Anyways, let me just focus on this. I am so sorry. Thought I had a lot more energy than this. Archmage now continuing to just push through here. Archmage Paladin now trying to pull through a beautiful, beautiful stun death coil now onto the Lich. Lich is just trying to hold on here as the Destroyers are attempting to take down those flying machines. As the flying machines are actually falling, it's actually giving more experience to the Death Knight. Death Knight now trying to get away. Does have a potion of the invulnerability and used at just the right moment in order to stay alive. That was a huge, huge play once again, as surprisingly, the use of the bombs is actually causing a bit of a problem, since the flying machines are no longer focusing. Oh, wow. No longer focusing onto only the Destroyers. All right, Mountain King. Oh, beautiful holy light there. Are we going to perhaps see another Stormbolt? Mountain King out of mana. Archmage was Staff of Teleportation back home, as this beautiful fight now making its way in. So far, the Lich now trying to do a little bit of chase, not able to do all that much. Paladin is on the ground. Let's take a look back over here. Death Knight regenerating hit points, and we now see unsummoning of the main buildings. That Black Citadel does give a lot of gold, and the key question is going to be, can the Death Knight actually survive with only a handful of buildings? Dark Ranger getting resurrected. Are we perhaps going to see another Obsidian statue or two? The Black Citadel getting unsummoned is a very, very risky proposition, as that means that you are not going to be able to get all of the necessary units out of your slaughterhouse. Perhaps, wait, we're actually 50 over 40 as well, so you're not actually going to be able to train up anything either. All right, let's go into a main fight here. Destroyers are overhead. Destroyers are actually devouring magic off of the water elemental. Now have mana to go after those units, and that additional bit of mana does translate into significantly more damage per attack. All right, let's come back over here. The Walk of Shame. A potion of greater mana being left behind. Wow. Potion of greater mana being left behind, and that is going to completely turn things upside down. Triple Obsidian statues here. The Obsidian statues are going to be more than enough to keep this army pretty much alive, and that is essentially the only resource that's being gathered right now. Mana. Mana on those Obsidian statues. Mana on those Obsidian statues, as the Crypt Fiends and the Death Knight and the Lich still wandering back around. So far, Peasants now trying to make their way back, and we are looking at a very, very strong push. This last-ditch effort by the Death Knight and the Dark Ranger now pushing in as they're going to the creeps. I can't believe they're going to the creeps, but the Dark Ranger, I believe, wants level 3, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Lich now coming back around. Dark Ranger almost done, as the Death Knight now running back around. All right, this might turn into a bit of a base race, as you can see that the Destroyers are actually going after that Knight. both players realizes that their bases are the weakest link right now, and one Ziggurat, one Nerubian tower is perhaps the real main difference that is making it rather difficult to try and take down the undead base. All right, it looked like, I'm not quite sure what was taken down there, but another unit was taken down. Death Knight now making its way over. There is a Death Coil, Divine Shield now, Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich is now actually in a bit of trouble. Is it going to be able to make its way out? Yes, it does, as it does get the Death Coil there. So far, we are still continuing this fight. Mountain King now gets a Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now in a bit of trouble once more. Is he going to be able to get out, as the Paladin now low on hit points? Oh, Paladin now getting silenced. Paladin now trying to run away, gets taken out as the Dark Ranger now sitting at level 3. Archmage gets taken down, and that was that final fight there. Death Knight still in a little bit of trouble, down to 131 hit points, and is running away from the Mountain King. Mountain King sitting at level 5, could get a Stormbolt off, but unable to catch up to the Death Knight. Puts down a Wand of Illusion, and I believe the Mountain King is not going to fall for it at all. All right, let's see what's going to be happening here. The Death Knight still wandering around in circles, and there you see the rest of the catch-up there. The Mountain King getting a Death Coil in the face once more, and the Mountain King realizes, I cannot not Stormbolt that Death Knight, and there is the game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Even though Th000 had outscored his opponent in terms of units, heroes, and resources, Undead takes the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.